So a warm welcome to everybody, and a special welcome to Ms. Esther Thomas, who's a special educator, founder and managing trustee of Divya Downs Development Trust, which is an NGO working with children and young adults diagnosed with Down syndrome. So she's been working with this trust since 2004. So a long 17, 18 years that she has worked with them. And Divya Downs has been contributing to the growth of individuals with Down syndrome, helping them champion their rights in society by promoting awareness and encouraging active participation through outreach programs and leading independent, happy lives. They have also been working on holistic training and early intervention for individuals with Down syndrome to create individualized curriculum, implementing special education therapies for physical development, speech and language development. They also encourage regular inter-school and inter-organizational events, as well as providing training and essential life supporting skills. Over to you, Ms. Thomas, we are looking forward to making and listening to the work. I think you're doing a lot of activities, and we really are looking forward to hearing you as it's what's been your experience so far dealing with this particular ailment. Over to you, Ms. Thomas.
First of all, good morning to everybody here. And I want to thank Mr. Prasanna and Mr. Swami who invited me. Thank you very much for inviting me for this talk and to this forum. I'm grateful to all of you. And I'm Ester Thomas, mother of Divya. I really like to say I'm mother of Divya. I feel very proud telling that, because Divya has been a great source of inspiration for me to start this school and to go ahead with this project and to help many people who are in this problem. So I'll start with my early life. I was born and brought up in Bihar, Jamshedpur. Even though I had my origin in South. My mother was from Bangalore. She got married. She moved out to Jamshedpur, Bihar, and I did my early studies, my schooling, my college, and everything there. After I completed my college from Jamshedpur Women's College, my father got retired actually, and I belong to a large family. I had 4 brothers and 4 sisters, of which one brother we lost at a very young age. And after completing my college graduation there from Jamshedpur Women's College, we moved into Bangalore. We had to go to Bangalore, but then we shifted to Bangalore because there were better opportunities for my brothers to get jobs here. So we all moved in, and I too moved in here with all of them. And I took a job at St. John's Medical College Hospital. And I worked there in the medical stores and purchase department. In order to get better informed on the subject, I took up on medical management, which I completed in St. Joseph's College of Business Administration. And I was happily working there. The management sponsored me for computers, which recently, at that time, in 1986, 87, when computers just started, they sponsored me for the course. And I did, and I was working, I was doing the stores accounts, all these things. Then I got married in 1987. And I married Dr. Thomas, who was working for PHEL, Bharat Heavy Electricals. He was an engineer. We got married happily, and after a year, we were expecting our first child. And you see, having a child after marriage is like a promotion for parents, So we are getting ready to get that promotion of dad and mom becoming the parents, That was very exciting. My first child was born in St. John's Hospital only, where I was working. And he was nice and healthy, and we had no problem, and we were just overexcited with this bundle of joy that came into our world. My son was born one day before my husband's birthday. So I think that's
sorry to interrupt you. Sorry to interrupt you, Mr. Thomas. I
Yes.
think there is some echo which is coming because of the wind. Is it the window behind you, which is I
Are you
can
getting
see a lot of
echo now? Are you getting the echo now?
No, it's better. It's better. So
Okay, I
was just
switched off the
wanting.
fan. This is the fan problem. When you put on the
Oh,
fan,
okay. It's
you
making
get this
it's a
noise.
gush of it's a gush
Yes,
of
yes,
wind
yes.
which is coming
It's
into
okay,
your
fine.
microphone, which is
Yeah,
I'm sorry for
I-
this if
No, that's okay.
but-
I off the fan.
I mean, I feel it's more important to hear you out than to be hearing those gushing sounds. That's,
Yeah, were you able to hear me
sure.
out?
Yeah, it's perfect now. Please go
Now,
ahead.
okay.
Sorry.
So that's what I think I'll again go. We got married in the year 1987, and I married Robin Thomas. He works in BHEL. Of course, now he's retired. And after a year, we were expecting our first child. That was the greatest joy for any parent, I think. We were getting ready to get that promotion from, to become a parent, becoming a parent, being called dad and mom. That's a great promotion for people who just get married. You see, we look forward for such promotions. And our son was born on 29th of October, and my husband's birthday happened to be on 30th of October. So that was the biggest and greatest gift to him. My son was born normal and everything went on very well. We were very happy with our first child. 1 year passed, 2 years passed. And then again, we were, expecting our second child. And again, we had all that excitement to receive the second bundle of joy. My second child, my daughter was born, and I felt the family is complete, that I have one son and one daughter now. Unfortunately, the second day of her birth, we got to know that she was born with Down syndrome. I do get emotional when I talk about this. Her birth, you see, that's very, very, very hurting, and I get very emotional talking about this. But then I have to tell you about this. Yeah, she was born, and the next day itself, the doctors came and they told us that she has this Down syndrome. Now, Down syndrome, as all of you know, is a chromosomal abnormality wherein these people have one extra chromosome, and that causes the disability. The disability is intellectual impairment and many other health issues. You see, she was born premature, and she was born very tiny, and suddenly all the excitement came to an end, and a big cloud of sorrow came on us. We didn't know how to handle this. Probably I've never heard of this in my school days, actually, frankly speaking. But yes, being a science student, I did get a chance to read about this in a magazine called Women's Era. I read about it, and never in my dream I thought this will come to me. It was such a shock to me and shock to my husband. We just couldn't talk. We couldn't talk to our family. We couldn't talk to our relatives, our friends, nobody. Just we became speechless listening to the very fact that we have a child with Down syndrome now, which is an irreversible condition, and we will have to go forward with this. Initially, it hurt us a lot. It took a lot of time to, get the courage. However, my husband was better. He said this Down syndrome is only in the records. We are taking a normal child home. It was hard for me. Generally, the mothers face a very difficult time. And that was a very crucial time for me. I couldn't, for the next 3 months, 5 months, I was just on sleeping pills. I could not accept the fact that this thing could come to me. I think every parent will feel the same. Just a small this thing. Am I to understand that all of you here are, or most of you are parents? I'm asking you all now.
Yes, a few are parents and few are PhD leaders. So we have a mix of both.
Okay. So most of you who are parents, will understand my grief at that time, what happened, to us. Parents generally feel it too much, you see, and they go through a series of, setbacks, you see. So initial series is grief, guilt, why God has done this to me, what wrong I had done to others. See, these are the things which every parent goes through. So as just like other parents, even I went through, we went through it. We had to face it. We had no other alternative. But then my husband actually took a great step by, getting a lot of information from various sources in order to bring up this child in a proper way. And we gave everything needed for this child. And though she was very weak, she slowly picked up and she started showing great improvement in all her activities, all round activities. After 5 years, I had to quit my job in St. John's because it was time to get her admitted to a school. And we did admit her to one of the best special schools in Bangalore. And I quit my job and I joined that school as a volunteer to take care of her. Yeah, it was a nice experience, going through that school and seeing their pattern of teaching, to the children. There's one thing which I noticed there in that special school, that they had 14 children in the specials in her class. And I found the teacher alone attending to all these 14 children with different disabilities. And she was not able to give the right type of input for all the children. We had Down syndrome children, autism children, mental retardation, different types of mental retardation. And we had CP children there. So various types of children were there in that school. I continued as a volunteer for 2 years. And one thing that I noted that Divya did not get the right type of inputs for her total development. I just noted this and I said, let me go school shopping and let me try another school. So I shifted her to another school, Clooney Convent. And there I found that she got quite good lot of inputs and she started to read and write, and she learned many things. She learned the toileting skills, eating skills, everything was taught to her. That was a great encouragement. And I said, yeah, I definitely can do something more now. So at that time, that advertisement in the paper came, from KPMRC. That is about the course on special education. And I took up that course and I completed that course in 1998. While I was doing the course, I was placed as a trainee teacher in Army Special School. And I worked there as a trainee teacher for a year. And after I completed the course, they gave me a job at Army School. It was my good luck, fortune to get to know the different type of disabilities, and I learned how to train all these categories. The Army in charge was very happy with my work, and they allowed me to work with all categories of disabled children. I worked there for some time, and then we had to move out from that place because we relocated near Kormangla. So I joined another school, Bethany School at Kormangla, and my daughter also joined me, and my son, who was in 7th standard, even he joined. So all three of us used to go to the school and think. While I was in Bethany, I very seriously thought that I should do something for the children with Down syndrome, because every school we saw, we visited. I mean, every school that I put my daughter, I saw that there are all mixed disabilities. And one thing that I noticed, that if we keep all the Down syndrome children together, we may need a common program for them because their learning pattern, growth are more or less similar. Though there are variations, but I found that more or less they all have that habit of, they have this imitation skills and their grasping power, and all these things are quite similar. So probably a common program could work very well with them for their overall development. So in the year 2000, while I was in Bethany, I wrote this project on Divya Downs Development Trust. Then in 2003, October 10th, we got this registered. And my husband was still working. He couldn't give me a hand because he had his own work. And we needed the money. I needed somebody who I left my job. So we needed the income also. So he continued with his work and he couldn't give me much help. But single-handed, I was able to manage this. In the year 2003, we registered, and 2004, we actually started the school with 4 children, 4 Down syndrome children. Fortunately, some of them were from Bethany School only, because the children were so attached, they moved on with me. And they believed me, their parents believed me, and they put their children. I started a school in a small house, actually, rental house, with 4 students. We started working with these children. These children showed great progress, and more students joined me. And we appointed a speech therapist, a physiotherapist. We had the good fortune of getting hospital physiotherapist trainees to our center. So they used to come and give us a physiotherapy for the children. We had the speech therapist from Institute of Speech and Hearing, and we had special educators. There was me and one more parent. Of course, now she's not here with us. She has gone to Dehradun, but we both started, and we, continued to work with the children. Divya joined in when she was 13 years, and she showed a lot of progress. Along with Divya, there are other children also, they showed a lot of progress. We gave them training in all areas. The school now is 17 years, 18 years, 17 years completed. And we run 3 programs here. That is the early intervention program, the education program, and the skill training program. Additionally, I also started the women's empowerment program to train the underprivileged women in employment skills. And this early intervention we have from the age group of 1 to 3. We run this infant stimulation program, which consists of basically physiotherapy, speech therapy. Now, children with Down syndrome, I'm sure you're all aware, they all have this. There is a developmental delay in these children. Their milestones are delayed. So they take much longer to walk, to crawl, to talk, to manipulate things, to move about. Everything is delayed. So this early intervention program, what we have, therapists actually help them to achieve these small little goals, their milestones. And this helps a lot in the long run. Speech, even speech is very badly hampered for the children with Down syndrome. So they need speech therapy on a long-term basis, and physiotherapy as well. So for the early intervention, we have these programs and cognitive skill development. So many of the children who have finished the early intervention program have been able to go to the inclusive setups. Now in Bangalore, we have a lot of schools which take who take these children. Most of the international schools have this inclusive setup. So many of them have gone. Of course, how long they can continue there, we really don't know, but they have their own limitations. The next group is educational project, which we have the age group from 5 to 15. So during this period, they learn all the academics, the functional academics, and they learn the reading, writing skills, comprehension, all these skills they learn, even shopping, money concept, all these things are taught to them. And after 15, we see that there is a slowdown, most of them. Exceptionally, people have finished the NIOS and all, but most of them are not able to proceed with the academics after 15 or 16 years. So then we have for the over 16s, we have the vocational skill training. And here we teach them skills that are, that can be used for employment later, such as photocopying, data entry. We have a lot of tailoring, stitching, and then we have painting skills. We have paper plate making machine, baking, chocolate making, and a lot of painting. Diwali products they make, Christmas products they all make. I put up stalls here and there, and that's a little bit of income generating for them also. They're also paid a small stipend who have mastered their skills. And the last program is the Women's Empowerment Program. Here we have the underprivileged women who are taught the same skills, they teach the tailoring skills, baking skills, recycle work. We do a lot out of tailor waste, weaving, and chocolate making. And these are the skills which we teach the women. After they complete the course, we have three sections. That is the basic, the intermediate, and the advanced skill training for them. So we have just finished the first batch of the 3 sections. Now we're entering into the second batch. So that's about the women's empowerment. Now, lastly, I'll get back to the Down syndrome. We recently had a World Down Syndrome Day celebration. I actually put it into the ORDI. I understand many of you all have seen that, I think, and have responded also. We had a nice show. Few of our children have learned painting very well. So we had a painting gallery, and over 50 paintings were exhibited and also sold. We also had a fashion show on that day. That was the 21st of March. That is the World Down Syndrome Day. We had a celebrity called Shilpa Singh who came and walked the ramp with the children. And it went on very well. Oracle, the company, sponsored pizzas for the children. And the children had a great time. That was about the Down syndrome. And lastly, I would like to say one thing. I think this is for parents. I would like to say one thing. That when a child with Down syndrome is born, or Down syndrome, any syndrome, generally you get a very consoling sort of messages from various parents. And, people around you keep telling you, you see, God has blessed you with a child. This child will be, because God selected you only as a parent, because you are a nice, strong lady or something. See, I totally disagree to this. It's nothing of that. The fact is, the day this child is born, of course, we are happy, even though we overcome all this, but deep down in our heart, we still feel the loss of an ideal child. You know why? It is because from the day this child is born, we are walking on a rough path, and this rough road never ends for us. This is the reality. This is the reality. No matter how much we come over, we save so many things, but this is reality. We are continuously walking on a rough road. Our sibling, now my daughter, Divya's sibling, even the siblings go through it so much. Why my sister is like this way? Why she cannot be normal like us? When they're small, they think that. As they grow up, they feel why God has given a sister to be like this. I wish I had a normal sister. As they grow up, I'm talking to you all about my personal experience with this child. As they grow up further, people start telling them, you see, oh, your sister's not okay. What happened to her? Why? Oh, so reduce in friend circle. People want to keep away from you. Oh, he has a Down syndrome sister. Still further, you go up in college. So this child is continuously facing some, you know, some humility, I feel. And when he grows up, when it comes to marriage, what happens? Families don't want to come to us. Oh, in that family, there is a child with disability. So my daughter will have an additional responsibility. I'm facing this. Today I'm talking to you all, I'm facing this. Believe me, this is the truth. This is the truth. And I'm actually writing a book which is called The Rough Road Never Ends for Us. I don't know how many parents like me are facing this, but I am facing this. Today I'm telling you the truth. People face this. I met another person who has two disabled brother and sister. He told me the same thing. What I went through from my school till the college, how I passed my life. Today I'm very proud of Divya, my daughter. Really, I'm very proud because today she has, crossed so many hurdles, and she has been trained in such a way that she's part of the staff now, along with her three children with Down syndrome are working as teacher assistants, and they are paid a salary. I'm so proud of my daughter, really. As I walk around and all, I'm so proud. But at the same time, I have feelings for my son also. I know what he's going through. So our rough road never ends, no matter how much we come over it. We do so many things, we come out, we go do so many things for something. But deep down, we are still walking in that rough road. I would like to close here. If anybody would like to ask me a question, can ask me.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Thomas, for that. I would say you are speaking from your heart, and that's what makes a difference altogether, because you are, you're speaking not only what a person, you're experiencing your emotions, the factuals of life, and which is what you are expressing yourself. If anybody has any questions, yes, yes, please go ahead.
Sir, my name is Jansi.
Anji.
I don't have much fluency in English. Better
No problems. आप हिंदी में बोलना चाहें? Yeah, that's okay.
तो
आप हिंदी में बोलिए, कोई problem.
मेरे को एक बेटा है. Actually, Down syndrome. He's 29 years. मेरा बड़ा बेटा एक डॉक्टर है. वो शादीशुदा है. एक लड़की भी है उसको. जैसा मैम ने बताया था वैसा कुछ नहीं है। हम लोग डाउन सिंड्रोम बच्चों को भी टिपिकल बच्चों की बराबर देख सकते हैं। मेरी ये राय है।
थैंक यू वेरी मच, थैंक यू वेरी
I'd like
मच
to
झांसी
answer
जी।
her.
आपने
I'd
आपने
like to
आपने जो
answer her.
या प्लीज 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 गो
मैं
अहेड।
आपको मैं आपको बताना चाहती हूँ।
मेरा लड़का भी जॉब करता है और डाउन सिंड्रोम वाला भी जॉब करता है। वो काफी
नहीं
इंडिपेंडेंट
नहीं,
है।
हाँ बिल्कुल, बहुत अच्छा है। आप बहुत मीन्स आपके फैमिली में बहुत ही अच्छी बात है जो है। But सभी घर में ऐसा नहीं होता है। आपको समझना चाहिए कि बहुत सारे पेरेंट्स मेरी तरह इस
मैम मैं
समस्या से गुजर रहे हैं।
आपको ये बोलना चाहते हूँ, लोग आपको कैसे देखेंगे वो छोड़िए। आप अपने बच्चों को टिपिकल बच्चों की
वो तो
बराबर
हम लोग कर
देखिए।
रहे हैं, हम लोग कर रहे हैं।
वो मैं
इसीलिए
बता रही
हम
हूँ।
लोग एक स्टेप आगे जाके हम लोगों ने अपनी संस्था खोल रखी है। हमने
आप
लोगों की बात सुन के हम चुपके नहीं बैठे हैं। बट ये जो है ना, रियलिटी है, आपको समझना है। ये वास्तविकता है, ये जीवन का वास्तविकता है। लोग ऐसा हमेशा बिहेव करते हैं, जो हम लोग तो ऊपर उठ गए उससे, पर फिर भी वो है। ये बात गलत नहीं है, ये बात सभी पेरेंट्स एक्सपीरियंस करते हैं। आप भी एक्सपीरियंस करते हैं, बट आप शायद बोलना नहीं चाहते। पर ये तो नॉर्मल बात है, नॉर्मल बात है। ये कोई अलग बात नहीं है। एवरी पेरेंट विल फील दिस, यू नो।
ठीक है मैम, थैंक यू।
थैंक यू।
Any other questions? Vaishali ji, you would like to ask anything? Vikas ji?
हाँ जी सर, मैं पूछना चाहता हूँ। बोल सकता हूँ सर मैं, समीर जी?
हाँ जी बिल्कुल बिल्कुल सर।
हेलो।
हाँ जी बोलिए।
आवाज आ रही है ना?
कट के आ रही है आपका थोड़ा, मेरे को लगता है कनेक्ट।
मैं कहीं और बैठा हूँ एक्चुअल में।
हाँ जी
मैं जो पूछना चाह रहा हूँ, मैं पूछना चाह रहा हूँ, आपने बहुत ही अच्छी तरह की इस तरीके से इसको
हेलो।
क्या आज भी की जो
नहीं विकास जी, आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही है। विकास जी, आपकी आवाज नहीं आ पा रही है। विकास जी आप बने हैं अभी हमारे साथ? मेरे को लगता है उनके कनेक्शन में प्रॉब्लम है। Any other question in the meanwhile? Any other comments or any other remarks that anybody would like to put up?
Just wanted to thank Ms. Thomas. This is Vaishali
Yeah.
for straight from the heart talk, and glad that we could hear the unadulterated version of a parent's thought process. It's wonderful, and I think kudos to you. We look forward to your book, and all the best for Divya Downs.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
विकास जी आप मेरी आवाज सुन सकते हैं? विकास भाटिया जी, I think उनका some problem with this connection.
Sameer,
Okay,
can we ask him the question on the phone, and probably you can repeat it or something? Can we do that? Acha, he's
Yes.
back.
Yeah, he's connected. I don't know, but he's mute. विकास जी, आप मेरे को सुन सक रहे हैं?
हाँ सर, आवाज आ रही है?
हाँ जी थोड़ा आपके कनेक्शन में मेरे को लगता है प्रॉब्लम है, थोड़ा आगे पीछे हो रहा है। हाँ जी बोलिए। आप मेरे ख्याल अगर वीडियो बंद कर देंगे तो हो सकता है ऑडियो का बेटर रहेगा। आप अपना वीडियो ऑफ कर दीजिए।
मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है मैम कि आपने बहुत ही सरल तरीके से सब चीजों को बताया डाउन के बारे में। मेरा पूछना ये कि जिस तरह से डॉक्टर्स हमें ये बात करते हैं कि बड़ी एज की 35 एज के बाद में अगर प्रेग्नेंट हो तो डाउन का रिस्क बढ़ जाता है, और 35 से पहले अगर हो तो नहीं होता है, क्या ये सही है? क्योंकि मैं जितने भी डाउन सिंड्रोम मेल फीमेल के संपर्क में आया हूँ जिनके भी, तो वो कम एज की ही थी। बड़ी एज का मुझे कभी ऐसा लगा नहीं कि बड़ी एज में डाउन सिंड्रोम आया हो, छोटी एज में नहीं आया हो। तो आपकी स्टडी क्या कहती है, या आप क्या कहती हैं इस बारे में?
मैं बताती हूँ, ये डाउन सिंड्रोम है, इट्स अ बर्थ डिफेक्ट ना।
जी।
तो जो ना, जब सी इट इज अ क्रोमोसोमल, सो when the child is going to be formed after fertilization, उसी समय वो गड़बड़ हो जाता है। For some reason we all have 46 क्रोमोसोम, तो इन बच्चों का that is 23 pairs, इन बच्चों का क्या होता है, इनका जब सेल डिवीजन होता है तो उस समय ना वो 46 क्रोमोसोम ने 23 पेयर्स और वो और एक आ जाता है, दैट इज द 21st क्रोमोसोम, इंस्टेड ऑफ डबलिंग इट ट्रिप्लिकेट्स. So this is all at the very initial stage when birth is just, when it is just formation. जब formation होता है, so there is a lot of cell mutation and all that. उस समय वो एक extra chromosome आ जाता है इनको. That extra chromosome जो है वही, that is the one which causes the disability in the child, and it is called Down syndrome. Now, the 21st chromosome we are talking. Now there are places where other chromosome also gets triplicated. So that is a different chromosome. That is a different syndrome at all. There's a different syndrome then. That is not very common. Like Klinefelter syndrome. There are very, very few cases, 1 in some lakhs together, and they don't survive. They die very soon. But kya hota hai, this Down syndrome children, they survive. They are near normal, but intellectually they are impaired, and physically they are not very fit. Their motor coordination is poor, their reflexes are very slow, and the entire process of development is delayed. This is the Down syndrome. बड़े एज में किसी को नहीं हो सकता है.
No, I think what Vikas ji is saying is that some of the doctors have said that if you get married late.
Yeah,
okay. I didn't hear him because ना उनका आवाज उतना, I could not hear Mr. Vikas.
He was referring. He was referring.
Yes, I'll tell you about this. No, I'll tell you about this. Yes, late marriages, that is one cause of Down syndrome. But I have many parents now who are at their 20s and they have got Down syndrome children. Late marriage, it is true. If a lady marries at about 35, over 35, there's chances of getting a Down syndrome child. It's because the eggs have become weak. So once the eggs are weak, then the child can be born as Down syndrome or some other disability. So that is why they say the ideal childbearing age is 20 to 30 only. Beyond 30, if you go, there are chances. But of course, now they have all the tests and all to be done. So it is mandatory to do all the tests. The late marriages can produce disabilities. That is true.
Vikas ji, आपका आंसर. हाँ जी.
Okay.
मिल गया, पूरा नहीं मिला.
Actually, we can't hear Mr. Vikas properly. It's all breaking. So that is why I could not get exactly. I don't know. I hope that answer he got it through.
Yes, I think he's there. Okay. So any other question from anybody? Ma'am, I have a question. Is this preventable anyway?
Prevention is only early detection, and if you can detect it in the first trimester or something through the tests available, like amniocentesis, and there are some other tests called tests. The only answer is termination. There's no rectification. You can't rectify. You can only terminate and get rid of it. That's it.
So early diagnosis is the only way to
early diagnosis. Yes. Now many people are doing the early diagnosis, and if they find
the prenatal, rather, a correct word would be prenatal. That's what you would need to find
Yeah,
out if there is
there is a time, correct time to do this amniocentesis test, where they actually, it is an invasive test, and they pierce the needle into the uterus and remove the fluids, amniotic fluids,
Okay.
and they do the test, and the amniotic fluids will tell you if the child is going to be born with the Down syndrome. So if they find so, generally mothers who have the first child, the second child they will definitely do, because they don't want a second Down syndrome child. But now I think it is mandatory. Many hospitals are doing it because people are generally now, the working women are all having children late. So they're all doing this test. And if they find it that there is 47 chromosomes in there, they will just terminate.
Okay.
You see, we don't like to do these things. It is actually prohibited in the, Christian community and all that. But people are doing it, see, people are doing it. We don't know whether it is right or wrong also. You see, sometimes we can say it is right because you will prevent another disabled person getting into the, world. So thereby you reduce the number of disabled people. But the other thing is that you're killing an unborn child.
काम करके फिर निकल जाऊंगा।
So
मैं कोई बच्चों के लिए काम करता रहता हूँ ना।
So you have to take a strong decision on this.
Yeah, I agree. And is there any research being done right now or is it reversible?
No, it is
have
not.
they done
It's irreversible. See, this is in every cell of your body. So you can't change that. Every cell of your body is corrupted. 47 chromosomes in every cell. So that cannot be. It's irreversible. Only thing, by proper training methods, you can get the child to near normal. And many of the Down syndrome children are doing well. They are finishing the NIOS 10th. They are working.
When I refer to reversibility, I'm not talking in terms of, I'm talking from a medical point of view.
Yes.
Because there is a lot of genetic, gene editing and gene therapies which have come in, where they are now talking about doing a lot of changes in the genetic system of individual bodies. So is there any research which is being done right now?
If there is a possibility of having a cell transplant at a very early age. So now Down syndromes, you have 3 types of Down syndromes. I will just tell you about this. One is 21 trisomy, one is mosaicism, and one is transformation. So this mosaic category, they have some number of normal cells. 4% of the total cells are normal, having 46 chromosomes. So if you could increase the number of normal cells in that person by cell transplant or something, they were doing this research from a long time, but nothing has come through. You might have heard about this. There was a doctor called Jack, and he said he could reverse it. So he came from US and he did some vitamin therapy for students, but for these Down syndrome people. But that all never worked, It did not work. The people just started becoming obese. The children started becoming obese. And finally, that Dr. Jack, he's not to be heard anymore. So research is going in. They're trying to do this cell transplant. If that is possible, you can increase the number of 46 cells with 46 chromosome, thereby decreasing the effect of the disability.
Okay. Any other question? Any other query? Any other remarks? Can I just make a small comment and then we could probably wind up the meeting?
Sure.
See, I am a parent also. I also have a daughter who's born with special needs. Yes, it does come through to us as well that why me? Why is my child, going through all the challenges as compared to a normal child? But I would only like to say is that our children are different. It is not that there is any, and I'm not saying this from a point of view to say that only because I am trying to be a leader or I'm trying to be a motivator for anybody. I'm not saying it like this. It's just that I believe and I fully, have a conviction in my mind. It is just that our children are different. It is not that their abilities are very different, which is, and it's a question of accepting them as being different. If you do that, if you accept them as being different, the world is not going to be accepting. The world will continue to point fingers at you, even if you have a normal child. Your child is short, he's tall, he's dark, he's fair, they have all kinds of perceptions and all kinds of ideas which they make about even a normal child. And we cannot be brought down by those perceptions, what the world reflects to us. We cannot do that. So I'm not trying to say that what you are thinking is incorrect, but all that I'm trying to say is that you need to accept the fact that I look at it, I've narrated this particular example many times, and I think some of the PAG leaders would find it monotonous to hear this out, but I repeat it again and again to say, my child cannot speak, but she still communicates. She communicates in her own language. If I was, for example, to be sent to a country where I don't understand their language, who would you say is having a problem in abilities? Is it the local person over there, or is it me who's gone there as a foreigner? It is going to be my disability. It is going to be my comprehension not being there, that I'm not able to understand the language of the common people over there. So, and it is exactly the same for my daughter. She cannot speak, but she communicates. And I listen to her. I'm able to understand. I may not be able to understand 100% of what she says, but I'm still able to understand a lot of things that she wants to communicate to me. And probably we are also trying and doing it the same, that we come to some common platform where she can understand us and I can understand her. That's all that we are trying to do. But the disability is not in her. The disability is in me. The disability is in all the people around her, that she is expressing herself, but we are not able to understand. It's just that she's different, and that's what we have accepted it to be. I'm not trying to be very different. I'm not trying to be, saying that I am being very, good in terms of saying this, or I feel glad. Yes, I'm happy. I'm happy the way she is. And I've accepted it to be like that. And that's all that I would like to say. Jhansi ji was saying the same thing. It's not a question of, yeah.
Well said, sir. That's what I'm expressing.
Exactly. I accept that totally, Jhansi ji, and I really appreciate. You need to look at the positive side. You can't just keep looking at the negative side to say, oh, my daughter is like this, and she can't do this, and she can't speak here, she can't walk, she can't do these things. Look at it from what she can do and build up on that. Look at the things that there are so many other children, so many other young adults who cannot even do the things that your daughter can do right now. Can you be, can you not be happy about it? I can show you so many children in our group. We've got a group of 400 parents, and I can show you so many children who are totally bedridden. They can't even manage a single feed for themselves. They can't even have a sip of water for themselves. What would you say for them? The parents are still happy. The parents are still living with those children. They are still struggling. Yes, they have the challenges, but they're managing it. So we have to accept the way God has been, blessed us with these children, and we got to move ahead, and we got to still. So that's the only message which I would like to give to you, Ms. Thomas. But thank you very much for sharing your personal experience, because it gives an insight into how you are thinking, or how you are looking at things in that positive way. All right. Thank you very much. Any other questions or anything? We can take it up, or we can close the meeting today.
Just a last thing.
समीर जी, मैं ये पूछना चाहता हूँ, समीर जी.
हाँ जी.
मैम से ये पूछना चाहता हूँ कि इंडिया में कितने बच्चे हर साल डाउन लेकर आ जाते हैं, अप्रोक्स कोई अगर फिगर हो उनके पास में?
हाँ, डाउन सिंड्रोम।
हाँ, डाउन के कितने बच्चे हर साल?
1 in every 1,000 births. 1 in every 1,000 birth is a Down syndrome. But with this advanced detection, early detection, this number is reduced now. But of course, see, this testing is done only in big cities. It's very costly and expensive. So in the villages and all, people don't do all these tests.
Okay.
There may be people, nobody has counted. They don't have a statistic for this correct number. So they will have a huge number.
So
But in
1 in 1,000 means 1 in 1,000. 1 in 1,000 means yeah. So you are saying 1 in 1,000 means every year now 23,000 baby per year in India, in our country, born by Down syndrome. 23,000.
Yes.
Okay.
But with early detection, you see that number might have come down. It was 1 in 1,000 all over, irrespective of any country, nation, everything. 1 in 1,000 birth it is.
Okay.
But now the birth rate on the whole is reduced. No, people are not having many children. It's quite now birth rates have come down.
Yes, you have a closing remark?
Yeah, I have a closing this thing. That
Yeah.
I made a statement, maybe many of you don't agree with it. That was the reality, what I felt. But nevertheless, I'm very proud of my daughter because she's a great painter. She has painted for the World Down Syndrome. She painted many paintings and all her paintings got sold. So I'm very proud of her. Only on the flip side, yes, we do face these things, what I meant. It's not that we don't accept
Yes,
or anything.
everybody,
We do face these
yeah.
things. Like
Yeah.
me, every parent faces it. Even they may say, yes, we are very happy, but deep down they do face this. This is reality, what I'm trying to tell you. And coming to the point of thing, we are proud of our daughter. I'm very proud of her, and because she's my great inspiration. Today, I have a different direction of life. You see,
Absolutely.
completely
Look at the
views have
positive.
changed.
Yeah.
My
Yeah,
way
look
of
at-
living has changed, and we have directed our complete self towards the development of the Down Syndrome Society. I'm just too happy
Absolutely.
with them. But of
Sure.
course, we do have some side these things which we have kept it far. But the reality is also there, which we have to acknowledge. You see? So that's what, because some of you felt
It's
that
not a
it is-
question. The reality continues to be with everybody.
everybody.
Do you mean to
yes.
say, it's not even with normal children? Do you mean to say even there are families who've been trying to get their daughter or son married, and for some reason it's not happening? So what would you say for them? They are
No,
normal
no.
children, but
No,
they
no.
still are not able to get themselves married or
That is true. That is true. But I'm
so
saying,
it's not correct to say that, oh, it's because of Down syndrome that my son is now
No.
having a challenging time, and it's not.
no.
It's,
Wait, I
you
want to
should
tell
look
you
at it.
here. I want to tell you here.
Can-
People are
Can you
scared.
paint? I'm
People
asking you a
are
question.
scared.
Can you paint? Do you paint?
I paint,
You
yes.
just mentioned. So, and you said your daughter also does a wonderful painting, right?
Yes.
There are
I
so
think
many
in
other
the-
children who can't.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm not saying. I just spoke my heart, I'm
Yeah.
not looking at everybody. I spoke my life.
Yes,
spoke.
but that's
Yes.
exactly what I'm also trying to say is that look at the positive side. Don't look at it from only that
No,
what
we are-
she's
we
not.
are very
You're only
positive.
looking at it.
If I was not positive today, I would not start and run the school for 17 years,
Yeah.
I would not start. I have never left any stone unturned. I have gone ahead with everything. But still, we have a rough road to cross. As a parent, every parent with a special needs child has this. You can ask any other parent.
I don't need to ask. I'm a parent myself. I don't need to
Yes.
ask anybody.
Yeah,
I'm a
I
parent
know.
myself. Anyway,
Yes.
so
So
thank
you know
you. Thank you
what,
very much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Thomas. Yeah, very
Thank
much
you.
for this. I would say you've poured your heart out to this morning with us to tell us about the facts about
Thank you.
Down syndrome, how your experience has been, and how you've taken it forward, and you've taken it forward on a positive note to not only look after your daughter, but other children also who've been diagnosed with Down syndrome. Thank you very much. Prasannaji, would you like to say something? And then we can close the meeting.
I can only say, every parent have their own views about their children, and everybody is right in their direction. And one thing is true, that coming together in this platform itself shows they're all positive and taking care. It's only the views and keeps changing.
Sure.
But one thing is common in all of us, that we continue to live with their children with best of their abilities, and being positive in whatever way they are, in whatever condition they are, is what I can say. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
It was a good
Thank you.
experience.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you.
listening from Esther Thomas, although we know
Yeah.
her, we knew her from quite few years, but today, we came to know about the entire things about her challenging journey. I'm sure it will help everyone to compare with their own journey and correct wherever is required. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a-
Thank you.
Have a good.